That's me standing there, back in 2016 when I visited New Zealand's infamous White Island. The place looks completely out of this world. White Island is a tiny island that sits just off the coast of the North Island of New Zealand, and they used to make routine visits to this boiling inferno. There were two ways to get to this island. One was by boat, and the other by helicopter, if you had the funds. The tours were quite routine, until one day, they weren't. What you're looking at is the aftermath of what happens when man squares off with nature. In most cases, man doesn't usually win. It was a typical cloudy day when we pulled out of the harbor headed to White Island. The smoke that billowed from the island resembled that of a power plant with a smokestack. After a lengthy boat ride, we arrived a few meters away from White Island. There was no actual pier, so it was necessary to transfer from a boat to a skiff that would take us to the island.
So we're going to get 10 on this first boatload. Make sure you are getting on with everyone else that you are traveling with.
The journey by boat was an hour and a half, but the travel time by helicopter was only about 30 minutes. The island was otherworldly. The only remnants that existed on the island were those from a time they used to mine White Island. The island looked inhospitable. I don't really think any of us had a true appreciation for the amount of destruction this active volcano was capable of. In terms of size, White Island was pretty small for a volcano, but still plenty powerful.
The last eruption here was in 2000. Hopefully today we won't have another eruption. And I want to be a part of history of dying at an actual volcano.
I was a little off on the last eruption prior to 2016. It had only been a few years since the last one. The tour was pretty structured. After being led on a designated route, we headed back to the boats. And that's what happened that infamous day in December 2019. While the first tour groups headed back to the boats, White Island began to rage. First there was shock, as tourists speculated if what they were seeing was real. But after the shock wore off, reality set in. The entire island was engulfed, and there was still a lot of people trapped there. The hard part was there was not a damn thing the crew could do about it.
Oh my God.
There were quite a few people severely injured from that disaster, some even fatally. After the eruption, the boats went back to rescue those who were trapped.